she gets eaten by a crocodile, not only am I gonna have to deal with losing Jetty, I'm gonna have to deal with Sierra dealing with losing her. This was our first croc that we spotted.
Another one. Another one.
Caminar, comprendes? Cheers. Tu cerveza.
Okay, my friends, last week you guys came with us as we sailed from Colombia to Panama. Had a little bit hard time checking into Panama.
It's 9:30 and no one's here.
But now we are finally here, and today you're gonna come with us as we explore the San Blas Islands. We had planned to do hurricane season here, but then we kind of changed our mind, and now we're finally here and we're so excited.
Where'd you go over there? We're just starting to explore San Blas here. This is our first stop. Learning a bit from the guidebook and from talking to people and just from exploring all around. But a couple interesting things so far is like there's crocodiles in this area. So we have to be careful, a little bit careful swimming, careful especially with Jetty. The other thing is, which is kind of sad, is that like that's a huge pile of trash, mostly plastic. The most plastic we've ever seen in an area just scattered around here, and it's mostly because prevailing winds and conditions just push everything onto these islands. So I mean, it comes from everywhere, but probably originates a lot in like Europe and Spain and Africa, comes across the ocean, plus all the plastic that originates throughout the Caribbean and the Eastern Caribbean and even Colombia just kind of funnels in this direction, and this is the first land it might hit and just washes up on all the beach. Plus I'm sure, you know, we're in this area with indigenous people and there's not a lot of technology or resources here, but they do get a hold of plastic products. You know, they still get groceries and stuff from the mainland, but of course, like a lot of the packaging is plastic. It's really sad to see so much plastic in such a beautiful place. It really is just everywhere. You can't escape it. I don't know what the solution is. Like, some people have such a fit over like banning plastic products, like plastic straws, for example. People have a huge fit over that. I don't know why exactly. It's an inconvenience to them, I guess. It's like save the sea turtles, all hippy dippy stuff. And when you see how massive the problem is in such beautiful places, it's like you'd be willing to give up a lot of stuff. I don't know what the solution is. Cleaning up, like, I feel like this stuff just has to be stopped at the source, but it's plastic in general is just such a useful and cheap and affordable material that I don't think it's ever going away. So anyway,
Watch out! Oh!
This was our first croc that we spotted in the wild.
No, that's the second.
This is the second croc?
The match.
Oh, we found the match in the dinghy, or when we were driving around in the dinghy. Here, that's your souvenir. No, there really are real crocs in the area, not those crocs. So we do have to be careful.
It's like plastic bottles and shoes. Why so many shoes?
I don't know. People say, why don't you pick up the trash? I don't want it to sound like a defeatist attitude, but we wouldn't even scratch the surface of how much plastic is here. The main reason is we just don't have any room. Like, we have to manage our own trash and make sure that we're not contributing to the problem. We have to hold on to our own trash until we get to a place to dispose of it, which of course there's a lot of plastic in there, including plastic packaging for food.
And a lot of places they'll like accept your trash, but their trash is not going to end up in a proper place either, so we keep it until it can be in a place that it will be disposed of the most appropriate way. But we always try to take a few things. Another one. Another one. Jay, watch out! In the islands of Bahamas, it was cool because you could tell that people were picking up trash and like using them for things. Like, people would use the shoes for trail markers and like the bottles, and they would like make like little pictures along the trails with them, and they have nowhere to put it, but at least they were given another purpose.
Some other things that we've been learning. Well, first off, like yesterday we got visited by a few Yala natives, the people who live here. The way it works here in the San Blas, because it's their land, every kind of village you come to and you anchor by, generally they'll charge you like an anchoring fee, and it's generally $10, and then they might charge you another fee to like come and walk around on their island in their village and everything. That's less prevalent, I think, but if they do, it's like $5. Small price to pay for like Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful area and anchorage. Just ran into some of the Guna woman and a bunch of children. Children are so cute. They're just hola. No, there's like 5 of them. They're hola, all in cool like superhero t-shirts and stuff. And the woman's dressed in like we'll show you guys. I didn't want to put a camera in their face right this second. Dressed in like their colorful Guna, like what you would think of if, you know, like National Geographic type attire. So they have like pangas with like small outboard engines, but then they also have these dugout wooden canoes, which here's one right here. This is theirs. So cool. She like dug up sand and put sand in there. I don't know why, but these things are everywhere, and you see them paddling around real slow, just all over the place.
But they go pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Adios!
Buenos dias. So there's a ton of little islands around here, and they have these little lodges or cabins, and they're like Airbnb owned. It's hard to get, especially out here. We're like really far east, like kind of even more of the remote San Blas than normal San Blas. But they'll rent out these Airbnbs, these little lodges and stuff. And like actually right around is like really nice. It looks like they kind of manicure the area. They have like nice sand and much less plastic than like on some of these other areas where there's not, you know, these remote islands. Right over there's like one island with like one little building on it and like really manicured and stuff. So maybe she's bringing that sand to over there. There's kind of less sandy beaches over here than I was expecting, but yeah, I think there's a lot more of that the further we go west in San Blas. Another guy came by yesterday. They were collecting the anchoring fees, but another guy came by and he just asked for a couple hooks, and I gave him actual lure that I didn't want anymore. It's not productive for us, so I also gave him a big lure. I think he was pretty pumped about that. But then today,
he showed all of his friends.
Yeah, he showed all of his friends, and then this morning Sierra got a bunch of visitors while she was working out this morning. Like how many? 3 came by asking for stuff. So, dude, that's such a weird balance of that kind of thing, right? Like
we're in their place, in their home. I think it's probably a more traditional thing to trade, but we didn't start off trading. He asked us for something and we had it, so we thought no problem. But then all of his friends came, and if we gave all of his friends a bunch of hooks, then we would have no hooks left. But we'd be happy like trading hooks for like a coconut, but we were also not super great at Spanish, so it's hard to get that across. And we also don't want to come off as rude or inappropriate or anything, so it's like a hard balance.
All through the Caribbean you get, especially the poorer islands, definitely you get asked for stuff all the time. And it's like a hard balance, right? Because like if you give stuff, they might expect stuff from every yacht that comes through and just expect you, and then actually get mad if you don't give them stuff. So like I think the right thing to do is like what you said, like trade for what they have plenty of, which might be like
fish or coconuts,
lobster, coconuts, whatever.
We just haven't been presented with that opportunity yet, so I don't know how to bring it up, right? One guy came over today and he wanted money, and I was trying to get across, okay, what is the money for? And what I thought he said was for food. So instead of giving him money, because our cash is very limited, I gave him a bag of chips and water and like some cookies. And I was like, "Está bien? Is this okay?" And he was like, And then he asked for more money, so I didn't understand. Where we had already paid the anchor permit, so I was just confused.
I think that's all well established in Eastern Caribbean already. The sailboats are just, there's money there, like, and they will likely give you stuff. So it's like, that's the expectation. And we're so lucky, like we're so fortunate to be on a boat in this area, like not in our, like it's really cool, but like it's just a fine line.
I think we just want to trade things for other things.
Yeah.
We got stuff to trade and they got stuff to trade. I think that's the happy balance. Now I just need to learn how to say, "Would you like to trade this for coconuts?" in Spanish.
Before we continue, do you guys remember a few years ago when we were working on the Mountain Mist Trawler project? Well, today's video sponsor is a product that we used on that project called Soft Sand. Soft sand is rubber-based granules used within coating systems to provide a comfortable skid-resistant surface and will work in most urethane, epoxy, and acrylic coatings. If you guys watched us during our Mountain Mist Trawler refit series, you saw that we used soft sand for our non-skid decks. We found soft sand through Andy at Boatworks Today, and we followed his application technique from his YouTube videos. As a result, Mountain Mist's decks came out looking incredible, and the traction that we had on our decks was by far the best that we've ever experienced on any boat prior to that, which meant improved safety aboard. Soft sand can be mixed into the paint directly or sprinkled onto wet paint, which is how we did it on Mountain Mist and how I would do it again. Guys, I honestly could not recommend soft sand enough. Click the link in the description to learn more or order your soft sand using coupon code TULA with a capital T for 20% off your total order. This deal is only good until the end of March, so if you're in a project now or if you have one coming up, click the link and use code TULA at checkout for 20% off. All right, we're just switching spots and we got a fish. What do we get? A mackerel, nice.
This is the biggest mackerel we've gotten yet.
Just in time, we just ate all that tuna. Nice mackerel. Dinner served. We're at a spot right here where there's a whole bunch of Guna people fishing out of their dugout canoes. 4 of them back here, there's 2 of them up here. Must be a popular fishing spot. Bunch of local kids trying to catch us in the canoe back here, trying to keep up with us. Many of the places we've been, a lot of boats have been there, a lot of sailboats or yachts. When I say yachts, I mean like they would call our boat a yacht even. Here it feels like truly authentic indigenous people. They get really excited like when you wave to them, and boats do come here, but we're at the very far eastern side of the San Blas, so much less boats come to this area than further to the west of San Blas, where we're heading over the next week or two. It feels like just pretty authentic. I think that's the best word for it. Unspoiled in a way, although I'm sure this is nothing compared to how it was maybe 10 or 20 years ago when like there were just almost like very, very few sailboats coming here, or boats coming here in general. We got some meat. How are we gonna cook it?
I don't know, I cleaned cooking screwdriver. There's a lot of meat on that fish.
We're here, we're at a new island. It's a really cool looking spot. ¿Estás unido? Sí. ¿Y tú aquí?
Sí. ¿Está bien?
Sí. So we're just paying the $10 for the anchoring fee here. And I'm just writing our information on his receipt book here. La suma de $10. $10. ¿Dónde nombre?
¿Ah?
¿Dónde el no?
Ponlo 10 ahí en el saldo, donde dice abono 10.
No sé. ¿El nombre de Velejo?
Aquí ve el nombre de velero. A J E.
No sé.
Firma. ¿Viste?
Okay.
10 balboa.
We are going on an adventure. Apparently, on this island, there's a hike where you can just hike up to like the radio tower, and there's no like information on any of the websites or anything. There's just a little thing in the cruiser's guide that says, go to the telephone in town and follow the telephone line all the way up. We're looking at it right now. We can see the radio tower. It's pretty high up there. And we're just gonna go try to figure it out. We're not gonna bring Jetty. We don't know how long it is, and her hiking is getting limited in her old age just because it's so hot out here, so we try to keep her like under 2 miles, and this might be closer to 3, 4. So she's gonna hang and then we'll take her after. I promise.
You good girl, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, you guys will be able to witness our abysmal Spanish. So we're gonna hike somewhere over there. There's a big telephone pole, but this is the village, the only village on this small island. I think it's pretty typical of a lot of these San Blas villages, like cool pangas with small outboards. Actually, that's a pretty big one. That's a 40. A lot of them have those little 15 horsepower Yamaha Enduros. And then a whole bunch of like outrigger canoes over there. Hola. Hola. Bunch of little kids. Look at the little kid. ¿Dónde está caminar? The, you know, sabes? The, you know, the tower, the radio tower? ¿Comprendes? No comprendes. Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, 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 gracias.
Yo quiero
Pasear.
caminar.
Sí, puede caminar.
Pero caminar aquí. Yeah.
También puede.
¿Dónde? Una hora para todo isla? Ah, comprendo. So he's just guiding us to the trail over here.
We might be going around.
Yeah, well, maybe we could find the one that goes up. Because I think the cell tower is in the middle somewhere. I think it's up high, like in the middle. But I think this goes all the way around. Perfecto.
Tiene que pedir permiso, creo.
Permiso?
Sí.
No, pero necesito permiso de el jefe.
Sí, camina.
Okay. ¿Podemos
Mañana.
vas aquí o no? Mañana.
Mañana sí, pero permiso.
Permiso, okay. So we're pretty sure what he was telling us was, and we do know we need permission, like to walk around the village and stuff.
But I thought the guy that gave us our permit said this is your payment to walk around.
Yeah, I think it is, but I think you might still need permission from like the chief, but I didn't know how official that permission needs to be. I think that's what he was saying, is that we need to get permission before we walk around the island. Or he was saying like,
Tomorrow he can guide us.
tomorrow he can guide us and he forgot he can't today or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I gotta look up some words and then figure it out. Either way, I think we're coming back here tomorrow.
Round 2 tomorrow.
Do you want to go explore the mangroves over here?
Yeah, but we gotta get Jetty.
We'll get Jetty first, yeah. It's so nice out. The sun's getting a little lower, so it's getting a little cooler. Nice breeze. Come on. Good girl. Think it goes anywhere?
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna fit.
Wow. Definitely goes back there, huh? So there's a little over-the-water bar restaurant over here, and apparently they have some beer and fried plantains and some other food, but the fried plantains are the best thing. So we're gonna meet these guys who are on this boat right here. We're gonna just have a beer and check it out and walk jetty. Hola. ¿Está bien aquí?
You wanna get your...
¿Abierto?
Sí, está abierto.
Okay.
Sí. Ajá, ya.
Primo, nosotros caminos
Ajá.
y después una cerveza. Okay. Gracias, amigo.
Bueno, a la orden.
Vamos a caminar.
Dale, sí, ajá, está bien.
Gracias.
Ya, dale.
They have a bunch of plantains too.
So
So I think I read in a cruising guide or like a review on Navionics or something that little restaurant thing, it's like a little shack. But I think I read it burnt down a few years ago in like 2019 maybe. Pretty sure I read that, and it looks like they rebuilt it and they're building a bunch of other stuff too. Well, they got palm trees, some tables. This thatch roof looks like it's kind of under construction. Pretty cool spot. Another little gazebo type thing. I read on the Panama San Blas Cruisers Facebook page, I found a post from like, it must have been 6 or 7 years ago maybe, of someone who got attacked by a crocodile, but they survived. They had to get like plastic surgery and stuff. I don't know where exactly it bit them, but
Where?
I think it was in the more populated areas. And then I read a bunch of people commented that there was like 1 or 2 big crocodiles that they've seen in the Hollandale Keys. So I think that's also more towards the more popular area over to the west. So we got to keep a close eye on you, Jetty. No going close to the water. I was hoping to see alligators in the mangroves. Crocodiles.
Alligators are in Florida.
Come on. Look at that. That's just picture perfect. Come here, Jetty. Come on. You gotta come over here. You're gonna get eaten by an alligator. If she gets eaten by a crocodile, not only am I gonna have to deal with losing Jetty, I'm gonna have to deal with Sierra dealing with losing her. That will not be fun. Some more thatched roof buildings. There's Lori Sue right over there. Got our little walk in. We're gonna go back and see if we can get some plantains and a beer. Hola. Puedo aquí?
Ah, ya sí está bien.
Gracias. Y me gusta 2 cervezas, por favor.
Sí.
Y plátanos. ¿Tienes plátanos? ¿No?
Plátano.
Plátano, sí,
plátano.
sí.
Patacone.
Patacone.
¿Cómo quiere?
Fried.
Perdón. Sí, eso lo llaman patacone. Patacone.
Patacone. Oh, sí, flat.
Sí, exactamente. Así es, patacone.
Perfecto, patacone, sí. Plátano patacone.
Bueno, nada.
Gracias.
¿Este es de dónde? ¿De Estados Unidos o...?
Sí, Estados Unidos.
Estados Unidos.
Sí, Florida.
Florida.
Sí.
Ya.
Cheers. Tu cerveza.